Hi, everyone. Welcome to this week's episode of the Tech Startup Podcast, TSP Weekly. It's June 3rd. We're here at Communitech. My name is Stephen Campbell. With me, as always, is my co-host, Amaris Gerson.
Good morning, Stephen.
Hey, Amaris, how are you?
I'm trying to hold in laughter.
We're on the patio today, so
Yes.
I'm all squinty.
Yeah, and there's loud machinery because the whole city's under construction.
Yep, we might have the sun come across us at a point, so we'll take a quick break. But joining us today, we have Jared Evans and Kamal Aman from Majik Systems. Welcome, gentlemen. How are you?
You sound
Pretty
like
good.
a
How are
robot
yourself?
today.
Yeah,
Yeah, you sound like a robot. That's good.
I worry about the introductions at the beginning.
Yeah, I
'cause
know
I can't
you
read
do.
anything.
I know.
So, guys, tell us about Majik Systems. What are you guys doing? What's the magic all about?
Yeah, for sure. Never heard that pun before either.
Yeah, thanks.
so that's-
Yeah. Low-hanging
that's
fruit.
great. Yeah.
Wow.
So Majik Systems, we make production monitoring software for factories. So we tie in directly to the machines on your factory floor and all the production lines. You get to see everything that's going on in your factory in your web browser. So you get to see how much you're making, how much downtime your machines have, how much scrap, whether you're meeting your schedule or not, and through that, hopefully improve your factory by optimizing your production on a day-to-day basis.
Really
There's a lot of buzzwords in that.
Yeah, a lot of factory stuff.
Yeah.
Does that not already exist?
Optimization.
Or are you guys coming and disrupting that whole industry?
It's a lot less of a refined field than you would think. That's actually outside of manufacturing. That's the thing that people say to us most is like, wait, doesn't that already exist?
Right.
And inside manufacturing, people say, oh my God, I need this. So
Right.
There's a lot in factories. There's a really big stratification of how much technology there is. And it's not really a field that has gotten into sort of the connected space too much. So that's part of our sort of thing that we're working through now is you have to sometimes even be educating people about what kind of information they can get out of their factory. So
So the machinery that's in that kind of setting, is it able to be connected? I'm visualizing like really out-of-date, horrible machinery that has no computer capabilities. Is
Yeah.
that...
Most machines sold in the last 15 years have Ethernet ports on
Okay,
them,
that's good.
and the machines themselves actually know what's happening to them because that's how they tell the program that's running on them what to do. But
it
it's
makes
just
it
a fact.
sound like they're going to attack us.
They don't have
They have
links yet.
thoughts. They know.
The convergence.
yeah.
Sorry, I'm an idiot. Carry on.
So the machines know exactly what's happening on them. It's just people are not connecting to them because there's so many different machines and they all talk in different languages. So one of the real hard part is figuring out what language the machine communicates in and then figuring out how to talk with it and make sense of the data that's on it.
I got it.
So you guys, Jared, you're more of a product manager, and then Kamal, you're more of a system architect. Is that correct?
Yeah, a software architect.
Are you guys founders, or?
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about the team.
Yeah, we actually have a pretty big founding team. We started as a fourth-year design project at University of Waterloo. So we were in management engineering, which is half industrial engineering, so factory setup, that type of thing, and half systems design, software. And when we were trying to think of our project, we were all sort of complaining because I was on a co-op about to fly to China to try to get a factory working better. Adam, one of our co-founders, was in Germany doing the same thing. Kamal and Mike were in US and Canada trying to also get enough data to be able to help things. And so instead of working on our fourth year project, we just started complaining about how we couldn't get data and we're having to go all over the world to...
The complaining is the mother of all inventions.
Exactly, right? So...
So there's 4 of you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And you built this out of the joy of complaining.
Yeah.
Exactly,
Really.
yeah.
Common
Sort
complaint.
of seeing Ethernet cables running off of machines and factories and still having to stand there with a clipboard and write down what was happening. So
Yeah, I spent 3 months of my life at a factory with a clipboard doing time studies of how long a particular process takes, how long another process takes, figuring out like the variance of that to only come back and be like, well, this one area is your problem because it takes the most time.
It's putting the screw on the toothpaste, right? Is that the one? What processes were you watching? What kind of factory? Give me an example of...
So this wasn't manufacturing like a mixer truck, but it's the same
Okay.
thing as like putting a screw onto the toothpaste. You have to put the barrel onto
Don't
the truck.
encourage it.
So you put the barrel onto the truck, and then the barrel's like manufactured there, so you have to like sand the barrel down. to get all like the rust off of it and get a smooth finish to paint it. And that was the hardest part because it was manually done. And everything else in their factory was taking 3 to 4 hours. This one part was taking 6 hours. So it's the bottleneck of their operation, the place that holds up their throughput of how many mixer trucks they can produce every month.
And often management isn't aware of that, so you shine the light on that, and then they can buy a new mixer truck or double their capacity or whatever.
They're aware that we can only produce 36 trucks a month, but they then need to figure out where's the problem at? How can we produce 39 trucks a month?
Right.
So that's where knowing what's happening at each stage of the process really pays off.
So there's some information that you guys offer, and then there's some optimization that you would suggest as well from that data that you guys gather.
Yeah, exactly.
Really neat.
So how do you know it's a good idea? Do people like it?
Yeah,
That's my market validation question.
Yeah, so pretty much when we graduated university.
Congratulations on graduating years ago.
Yes. Yeah, it was,
you made it.
That was 2014, and we all still had 4 months on our student house leases in Waterloo. So we said, all right, gonna keep working on this for 4 months. If we can sell the product within 4 months to somebody, we'll keep going. So during that time, we also won the Velocity Fund Finals, which is really cool and exciting. And we made our first sale to a company we had been working with in September, and that was sort of our first cobbled together minimum viable prototype that we'd have to stay up all night and reset the servers on and stuff like that. But then sort of from there have kept growing, and we work with several quite large manufacturers. Both we've been focusing mainly in Ontario for our sales outreach, but we have systems running in Quebec, BC, Oregon, Texas. So starting to sort of fill up with more and more customers. So that's how we validate.
Yeah,
as long as
people are buying it. And I know I don't know if you want to talk about this, but you have a self-regulating beard policy, I believe you told me about one time.
Yes, yeah. No, this is the sales beard, so as long as we're closing a deal a month, the beard keeps growing. So yeah, people are starting to just plead with me to shave it.
So clearly he's selling because he's got the beard.
Kamal?
I've told people about that.
I'm just lazy.
You could have gone fashion. You could have gone the fashion route there. Yeah.
He's trying to be a hipster.
Yeah, just trying to be a hipster. So when you guys, it sounds like you were sort of, here's a problem, then you dipped your foot in a little bit, but then you started to get some momentum, right? You won the award, you've got some sales going, so have you guys decided this is the real deal?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah,
Tell me a little bit about that process where you're like, we were thinking about it for 4 months, but now we're like all hands on deck, full time.
Well, pretty much as soon as we graduated university, we were all in on it. It's just we've had different milestones that we make sure that we hit as we go forward. So I think there's always you're always having to sort of evaluate where your business is and how much you can hire, all kinds of stuff.
And whether you need a pivot or not. But luckily for us, we keep hitting those milestones, which means that we're on the right track.
Yeah. Any pivots that you've had that you kind of came in?
But that's the later question.
Yeah, I'm excited. You said
pivot. No.
I was joking. You go.
Yeah.
You go.
What got you here? That's what we care about now. See, you have it on your
piece
of
we do.
Because that's what we're trying to do.
Let's talk about your fuel.
Our fuel.
Yeah. What
helped
got
you
you
get
here?
You were part of Velocity, clearly. You had some mentors, I'm guessing, through Velocity or through, you're still in Velocity, so.
Yeah. We've definitely had some
mom.
mentors around here, which kind of gave us, how does a startup work, and, what's the basic processes you go through, and how do you get money. And for us, kind of the fuel is, for me personally, the fuel's been 2 parts. One is selling product and making money, which is always fun. But the other thing is having a problem that I've personally experienced before, working in factories and being able to solve that problem that takes so much time to do manually. And then some people have automated that process somewhat, but then it's Excel sheets being emailed around, and that's never fun.
No,
right.
That's not. But you were, so yeah, making money is good. That's your fuel. But I mean, how did you get here? Because yes, you did some work, and you did lots of work, I'm sure. But there have been people and organizations that have helped you get here.
Yeah,
so who helped you with that? Who helped make sure you got there? Because you wouldn't have been able to be successful if you hadn't got the Velocity Fund Finals, etc.
Yeah, definitely. First off, I think big shout out to management engineering at University of Waterloo. They really push you in your fourth year project to try to be working on a problem that you could see like turning into an actual solution in the market. And we definitely came in to our fourth year project as like, okay, this is actually like us getting 8 months to work on our startup sort of thing. And both the mentorship within that, like our professor who worked with us, Stan, and also the organizers of the course and stuff definitely pushed us to like really go the extra step, and sort of got us started on it. And then velocity's been really great. And then there's a ton of people in the community that like even like we go to the IoT meetups, we go to some other
meetup.
Yeah, your meetup, that's always a
Hacker
big
Nest
one,
meetup.
Hacker Nest. And you just start meeting people who can help you with different problems. Like, we didn't really know how to sell. So we've talked to a lot of people about selling.
And someone told you beards was a good idea.
Throwing a big gong.
Yeah. And so there's just the community is really great in that regard, and Communitech's been super helpful too for all kinds of stuff. So
It's great.
The community is awesome. How do you guys pay the bills? Do you guys do any fundraising or venture capital along the way that supported you? It's on the list.
Oh, good it is.
Yeah, not yet. No, we've been lucky getting some grants, and also Shred is really big for us because we're doing a lot of technology, new development, that type of thing, and a lot of our salary costs right now are developers. And then customer contracts is the other big thing, and we're really lucky to have great customers who know that they're working with a startup but still expect us to deliver them a really good product and an excellent product, and are willing to
Be flexible
work with
about it.
us and help us do that for them. So
That's a great answer. Do you have any venture capitalists? No, we have customers.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
Yeah.
Way better.
Yeah, now what's your question?
Now my question is,
They're answering everything.
yeah, they're doing real
Quickly.
well. So let's take a break, and we'll come back and talk
sun.
about some of our wins and losses. We'll check on the sun, see if we have to put our sunglasses on or not.
I need to.
Yeah, we may. So we're gonna break for our sponsor Igloo. We'll be right back. And we're back. We've moved a little bit. We're in the sun now. So thanks for your patience.
The Earth rotated.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
just had a little science fiction talk. So now we're educated on why that happens. So thank you, Majik.
That's not science. That's not science fiction.
science fiction.
That's
It's real
science.
true.
That's actual
Science
science.
fact.
So now, guys, what we're going to do now is we're going to get into the 3 wins, 3 losses, and 3 glimpses of the future. We can get back into science and science fiction there. Start with your 3 wins. What have been 3 successes for Majik?
I guess our first deployment was one of the big success there. It was a lot of work put into it, and then having people rely on a system that you've built for their day-to-day activities puts a lot of stress and kind of takes up that level of responsibility to the next level. Got to make sure it's always running well, and if it's not running, then people can't do their job.
So it was like you became a real company when you had that first.
Yeah, it was. We have to be at work for real hours and not have our days from noon until midnight.
So you were grown-ups.
Yeah,
Sort of, kind of.
Yeah, I remember calling my mom and being like, I guess this is my job now. Like, we're doing this for real, so.
That's
Yeah.
good. So what's another win you've had?
I guess this one's sort of a smaller one maybe, but we've been traveling for different implementations and customer sites a lot more, especially in the last 6 months or 8 months, I guess. So that's just been sort of a cool, like, small win of, like, companies are paying us to come to different places in North America, and you get to see more of, like, the world, that kind of thing on.
I feel like these are a lot of like, hey, you're a real company kind of wins.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
people
validation.
pay us
Yeah, so
to do our job.
yeah, but it's cool. Like, it's cool. We got to go out to BC, got
Sweet.
to be in Montreal for a little while,
Did
Texas.
you go to Texas and Oregon? Were you there?
Yeah, hopefully Oregon very soon. We're implemented there, but we haven't been out there yet. So that's
Should
sort of next on the
figure out
travel
how to make that
docket.
happen.
Yeah,
It's a good place.
exactly.
Racking up the miles.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I would say the next big one for me would be just working with really cool people.
Aw,
But
Like a team hug.
well, but I'm not talking about these guys. I'm talking about
Oh,
more
okay,
of I'm talking about more of like our co-ops and our hires, and like almost all of our co-ops have returned for a second term because they just
Sweet.
really love working with us so much, and it's something that I think we get them passionate about. Manufacturing problems, which isn't the sexiest thing in the world, but I think people get really passionate about it once they start seeing the solutions that they implement go and be deployed at customer sites and actually solve real world problems.
Right, so you're getting to work with people that actually want to work with you.
Yeah.
It's great. You guys are a real deal now.
Yeah, that must be awesome when you actually solve a problem for them. They're like, oh God, thank you, because that,
Some
it's a
obvious
real
wins.
impact.
The obvious wins that you didn't talk about is the fact that you are deployed in Texas and all of those other places. That's huge.
Yeah. No, it's pretty cool. Even just we work with a lot of customers that have like multiple facilities, and that's really where our product starts to shine, because the facility in Mississauga can see how the facility in Texas is doing, or the facility in Kitchener can see how their BC and Montreal plants are doing, things like that, or comparing production against each other and then starting to share information with each other of how they're getting a good result. And that's where like it's pretty cool just knowing like, hey, this is a live view of what's happening in a factory like across North America or something like that, right? So
Cool.
yeah, that's definitely just sort of like a everyday little win, I guess.
Yeah, that's good.
Very nice.
All right, now what are some losses? What have you done wrong? What have you learned?
Gut-wrenching mistakes.
Yeah, I think one big one, like it is just it took us quite a while to sort of figure out our sales process and really getting into just being like, okay, sales is like this full-time push that we always have to be aligned on and have the entire company sort of focused around. And I think that was just maybe from us like never having started a business before and never done enterprise sales before and things like that. So I definitely think if we were doing it again, there'd be stuff that like from day one I'd like to be doing on that side that we sort of had to organically learn this time around. So that's not like obviously hasn't killed us, but it's definitely something that like
You've learned from.
yeah, it definitely would and anybody doing a startup, I would just recommend like get out and start selling faster than you think you should be. Like go.
You were talking earlier about how, I mean, not recorded, but you were talking about how the sales cycle for your industry is pretty long.
Yeah.
So that would definitely be key for that.
Yeah, like it's about 6 to 9 months, and I think like when we got our first customer, we had just been focusing on them so much, and then it was sort of like, okay, so why aren't other people just coming and giving us money? Like it's sort of like, oh crap, we have to be like calling people and visiting people and stuff.
And are you doing like
that,
a one-time sale, or is it a renewal or residual, or how's the model work at all? I know this isn't a loss, but
we do yearly pricing.
Yep.
So you pay us yearly for running the software, and we provide a lot of improvements and analysis of the data and site visits, all kinds of things that sort of we almost feel like it's like a partnership with the customer more than just like, hey, here's our software sort of thing, right?
Yep.
But we do a yearly fee based on how many pieces of equipment they have connected in the factory.
Right.
Kamal, any software losses? Any architecture crumbles?
Well, yeah, I was just thinking about that. And one of the things would be, I guess, defining a quality process from day one and actually having your software well tested. Like starting a startup, it's, you got to ship as fast as possible at the beginning, so you have the triangle of quality, cost, and timeline. And you really have to keep it at a decent cost and deploy really quickly. So the thing that takes the hit is quality from the beginning for us. And it was not necessarily quality of the product we delivered, but it was quality of, maintaining the product as we continue developing it and getting those unit tests in and stuff like that are key. So I think if we kind of started testing our setting up unit tests for everything in our software earlier on, that might have been a good idea. But then what else would have taken the sacrifice at that point?
Sure.
So it's a balance.
Yeah.
All right, one other loss.
Or a pivot. Just the pivot. Can I pivot them now? You don't like the pivots.
Well, yeah, it could be. That could be
A
like,
good pivot?
but it would be you messed up, so you had to pivot.
Yeah, that would count as a loss.
Yeah,
Right.
how you pitch it.
Yeah, we haven't really had a pivot so much as like we've just been refining in more on like we used to sort of be like, hey, anybody who does manufacturing, we they're probably a customer of ours sort of thing. Right now we're very focused on certain verticals, that type of thing.
Okay.
Mainly automotive and consumer packaged goods. But yeah, I guess last loss that
Something
we'll
really
talk
embarrassing.
about.
Yeah, you did something dumb, didn't you?
Come
on. Something that others could learn from. Maybe.
Never sign a
Oh yeah.
3-year agreement for a shred consulting company, or no startup should ever be signing a multi-year agreement with anybody, because you don't know where your business is going in 3 years or anything like that. But we
That's great advice.
many like many companies, we go through shred, that type of thing, and we early on signed with a provider that just wasn't really meeting our needs, and it took a lot of work to get separated from that and start doing shred ourselves, sort of thing. And I probably don't want to talk too much about it, but I would just say don't sign long-term contracts with anybody that you are partnering with or working with on
that makes sense.
Services side.
That's fair. All right. What's the future look like for you guys?
I think like till the end of 2017, we want to be mainly focusing on sort of like the large consumer packaged goods and automotive manufacturers that are around here, sort of 401 corridor, and their sister plants across North America or wherever. But there's so many good manufacturers, like so many world-class manufacturers just in this area alone. And continuing to work with them and refine the product for the next sort of couple years, I think will put us on a really good footing to expand into sort of worldwide.
Perfect
after
it
that.
Here so that it can expand elsewhere.
Yeah.
Right, that makes
and
sense.
our market, it's called manufacturing execution software.
Okay.
It's about a $6 billion a year market right now, but by 2020, it's expected to grow to about $15 billion. And
It's pretty good.
yeah, that's all right,
It's
right?
more than I have.
The podcast not that lucrative yet.
Podcast kitty's pretty big, but
But we want to be able to take advantage of that big ramp up as more and more factories get automated and more people want to be doing sort of the industry 4.0, where the factory is controlled remotely and you have more and more automation, and that's where we really want to fit in those sort of like years coming forward.
Makes sense. So another future thing is probably you're going to have to leave Velocity at some point. Is there?
gasp.
So-
The birdie's leaving the nest.
Yeah, we're looking at probably the end of this year. So we've been here for how long now? Almost
A year and a half.
A year and a half. It's been an awesome stay. We're gonna probably be here until the end of the year, and we're looking for different places. And one of the places we're looking at is a new manufacturing innovation space here in town.
Catalyst.
Catalyst, which is
Going there on Monday.
Oh yeah.
AMT Catalyst? Advanced Manufacturing Technologies? I know Conestoga College was running a program like that, but
No, this one's actually
It's in my neighborhood.
oh,
yeah,
neat.
the old
Just over there.
tire building. Yeah,
just that way. So
Yeah.
just go that way, everyone.
But
Look for
No,
an old factory, and it's over there.
a few different people in the community, they've been looking at sort of Communitech is great for sort of software companies, that
Yep.
type of thing, but there's sort of a gap in manufacturing where everybody can sort of come together and work together. And like we were saying, there's so much good manufacturing happening in Kitchener-Waterloo, Cambridge area. So we'd really like to be a part of that.
That's great.
So yeah, we're still hammering out the details, but
Well,
it's
the
looking really
sold
good.
sign just went up on the building.
Yeah,
So
that's
now it's
really
official.
exciting.
Yeah.
That's great.
What about a third future-looking thing? Was that the third?
That was three.
Okay.
Yeah. But you can ask another one. You
I
want
was, yeah,
fourth?
you guys going to expand the team is what I was thinking.
Yeah.
You guys hiring?
Yeah, so over the last 8 months, we've been slowly adding 1 or 2 new members to the team. And over the next 6 months, we're looking at growing our sales team as well as our development team. We're at about 9 people right now, very development heavy. So 6 of us are on the development side. Jared is dealing with the product management with customers, and then we have 2 people on the sales and marketing side. So trying to grow that sales side up so we can get more people through the pipeline, and then grow the development side up to support more features and get new product out the door.
Very cool.
It's your favorite time now.
All right. What are we doing next, Amaris?
It's your favorite time. I'm not even
I
gonna.
can't trick you into saying it, eh?
Nope.
Well, let's do it anyway. Who is your hashtag startup crush? Who you guys giving a shout out to this week?
Yeah.
Who else is
better
killing
way
it?
to say it, but he likes to say it that other way.
The hashtag startup
okay.
crush.
What's the better way to say it?
What are some startups that you think are doing some good things?
Oh, I see. Yeah, no.
Hashtag startup crush, so much better.
There you go.
Thank you. Thank you. So we stall enough for you guys to think of somebody?
Yeah, I got it. I don't know. One team in Velocity I'm really impressed with right now is Plyboard. I don't know if you guys know them.
I do not.
We heard about
Okay.
them last week.
Yeah, they're just they make a platform for foreign students to be able to apply to Canadian and U.S. universities, and I don't know, they're just like going crazy. It seems like they have just like more people every day
That's
when I
awesome.
walk by, and it seems like people really love the service they're providing. So they're doing cool stuff right now for sure.
Great. Oh, who are you liking?
Who are you crushing on?
Well, they're a little bit bigger now, but
It's okay.
I'm really liking Mapton.
Oh.
Sure.
They're pretty cool.
I
They
thought you were gonna say your old co-op placement.
True. Also Magnet Forensics. So yeah, I guess they're the ones who are growing probably the fastest around here. Yeah, you guys boomed quite a bit.
Yeah.
And they just released
Okay.
an awesome new product.
You
Magnet.
can say mapped in. It's okay. But yeah, but
All the
Magnet.
M's, mapped in, magnet.
Yeah, a lot of
Did
M's.
you know
I did.
when he was a child?
Yeah, when I was a child, I worked at Magnet Forensics for a while, and we developed some really, really cool product there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Jared, you have some Apple in your background, is that right?
Yeah, I worked at Apple as a hardware engineering manager for iPad Air.
Oh, neat.
So got to go to China for that around release day. Lots of people would take pictures of me on the subway.
The giant.
Yeah.
Who's that giant? What is
Yeah,
that?
but no, that was definitely really interesting. It sort of showed me some of the problems in manufacturing because really like I got sent there because they didn't
Yeah.
have anybody there like to figure out the problem sort of thing that they were having with ramp up and all of that. So
Very cool.
Yeah, so but yeah, definitely an interesting, cool experience.
Who's your startup crush this week,
I was
Amaris?
gonna ask you that.
I've got one this week. I like Georgette Packaging.
Yeah,
very
they're
cool.
good.
Yeah, I've seen,
Have we talked to them yet?
yeah, a little while we talked to Sarah, but might be time to talk to her again
Yeah, it
because
might
they're growing and doing good things. I always see them, they're hiring, I guess, a software developer
Yep.
like everybody else. But they
Everyone
were,
else in town.
Yep, they were very creative in the way they were doing it. So I like what they're doing. Yeah, it looks like they're having some traction too and,
Yeah,
and
Yeah,
killing
definitely.
it. So
I don't know if I have one this week.
you could be me last week. You
I
asked the
I like
questions.
these guys a lot.
Yes.
I do.
I do. Yeah, when I said we actually had a cancellation this week, unfortunately, so Majik was
Well, you
agreeable to come on,
said you said who should we get?
and you said I want Majik.
Well, I think you said what about Magic? I was like, oh yeah, those guys.
Yeah, pretty exciting. So,
So yeah,
yeah.
I think they're doing cool things.
So how can we follow your story, guys? If we want to see you guys continue to dominate the factories across the world,
Right, yeah.
are we looking on Twitter or the web or?
Yeah, so our website is www.majik.io. And then we have a Twitter account, Magic Systems, and also LinkedIn. So we sometimes post blog posts about sort of where the industry is going, what you should be watching for in your factory, how to integrate different things. So just check out all that stuff and give us
We'll
a
put
follow.
links to that up on our website.
Perfect.
Next week, who do we have we're chatting to
We're
next
talking
week?
to Igloo next week, aren't we?
Yeah, Dan Latondra.
They sponsor us. Now we get to talk to them.
We have to be all serious.
Hard-hitting.
Should we wear ties and
Sure, I'll
dress
wear
up?
a tie.
Maybe we should wear my wig I have.
Yeah, do it.
That would be fun.
You wear your wig.
And you wear a tie.
I'm not gonna wear a tie.
Yeah, I know. I knew it was
Yeah.
going to happen.
Maybe they'll give us shirts though. I don't have any Igloo shirts.
Yeah, a little branding. That'd be great.
We'll show up and wear a wife beater, so it looks real bad.
Just buy a wife beater. Well, great. That's it for this episode of TSP Weekly, guys. Thanks for everybody for joining us. We'll see you all, for myself, Stephen Campbell, and my co-host Amaris Gerson, and the gentleman from Majik Systems, Kamal, Aman, and Jared Evans. Thanks very much for joining us. We'll see you next week.